see my friends struggle at grasping Python concepts, so it seemed like a second nature to me. And it makes me wonder, how would I learn Python if I had to start again? Well, first of all, I'd learn the basics about data types, int, string, character, float, bool. I'd learn my logic statements, if, else. I'd learn how to loop, for, and while. I'd learn how to use arrays, their indexes, slicing, stuff like that. And then I'd learn some basic subroutine and functions. And then just learning it isn't enough. If you want to actually know it, you need to apply your knowledge. So then I would do 3 to 5 small projects. 1 easy project, 1 to 2 intermediate, 1 hard project. And the easy project I personally did was making a calculator, which is very basic, but it just let me lock in some of that knowledge. The calculator is very easy to pull off, you probably wouldn't need any help. A dice simulator is also an interesting one, because it lets you use the random library. Higher or lower random number game I've never actually made, but I have used something very similar in another project I've made. Now for intermediate projects, one that I made was a simple grading system, so you give a grade to your project and it runs through some logic statements and then it gives you the grade. So like if grade in greater than or equal to 90, print A star, stuff like that. Simple ATM simulator, you make a balance, make a pin, make able to withdraw money, obviously not withdraw more money than you actually have in the ATM, stuff like that. Odd or even, it introduces some mathematical concepts like mod, which is remainder division, so it gives you the remainder of the division you've just done, which lets you find if a number's odd or even. It's very important for future projects, that is. Personally love the bubble sorting algorithm. Not its inefficiency, but just when I first made it, it was so cool to me because I had to use like 2 embedded loops and a bunch of increasing indexes, which I found really cool, and I think it really helped me get a good grasp on embedded loops. A basic login with JSON files. If you already know how to open files in Python, this will be a good one because it just solidifies that knowledge. Password generator is also a good one because it lets you use the random library, which is very commonly used in Python, and some good concepts in there. Now, obviously that is not enough. You need to advance your knowledge further, the more complicated stuff. Now, I love classes. It's a very useful thing in Python. It lets you modularize a lot of things and reduce a lot of code that you write. So you need to learn classes. The more advanced data structures like dictionaries and tuples and embedded lists. You need to learn how to handle files, that's very important if you ever want to have anything to be saved. You need to learn how to handle errors, otherwise your programs will be a nightmare to debug and run. And the final concept is recursion, which is very important. It's where you get a function to keep calling itself until it's fulfilled a condition. It's very powerful. You need to now apply your knowledge. Do you see the pattern here? You need to learn and then apply. Now, we need to do some 3 to 5 big full-on projects. Here's some ideas. The one that I personally did was an encryptor. I used asynchronous encryption, public and a private key, and I even made an exe file out of it. Binary search is another good mathematical concept that you should know. What I recently did myself was a virtual market simulator. Now, I had lots of fun making this. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I personally made mine really extensive. I had like a cryptocurrency class, a portfolio class, and a trading bot class. And each crypto would have its own graph. You could graph the market, they'd go up and down, have different volatilities, really cool. Another cool one is currency exchange. You can get the live values from APIs to actually get the real-time exchange rate. And then another one, which will really just apply your dictionary knowledge, a recipe book with search, so you can have different keys in your dict and have the recipe linked to that key, which will make it easy to search. And then after that, anything you really want to make, anything you think will be fun, anything you want to do, you can make it. Moving on. Now, here's some final thoughts. It's only up from here. You've learned the biggest chunk of what you actually need to learn. Python is very basic. You can use the basics to make really complex and advanced things. You need to build bigger projects, better projects. Don't be afraid to use tools like ChatGPT or a YouTube tutorial. Now, there is a correct and incorrect way to use them. The incorrect way is to just copy code and not understand it. Copy the code, put it into your project, and let it run. That's the incorrect way to learn. You can copy the code, but you then need to apply it again. You need to say like, copy it, use it, and then somewhere else in your project, you need to do it yourself. You need to apply the same knowledge in a different situation, and that'll really help you understand it. Now, you need to have fun while coding. Personally, I love to code. For me, when I'm bored of games, I code, and it's really fun actually. Having fun just makes it all better, it makes you learn it quicker, makes you motivated. Now, specialising in different paths could also be a good option, like specialising in AI, data science, software engineering. All those fields are good job careers and have some really cool code behind them. So that's how I would learn Python if I had to start again. Now for you it may just be a button, but to me it's the world, so if you could drop a like and a sub, much appreciated. See you in the next one.